Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Monday, July 1st. Yes, Monday is back so soon, isn't it?
Happy July to you.
Yes, happy July,
and
happy
happy
Canada Day to those
Woo-hoo.
who celebrate. Yeah, we'll start the Monday with a little celebration.
Well,
why not?
Why not? Hey.
Celebrating some great weather, aren't we?
We are celebrating some good weather. It's good looking out there right now. Well, clouds will be on the crease gradually today. We'll also be picking up some pretty good temperatures today. Around 71 to 76 degrees. Partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies as the day progresses. And we'll also see eventually how this all plays out. Nothing doing on the radar until at least we get into the afternoon. What we're seeing out there right now is pretty much dry conditions, a little patchy fog in some locations, and we'll carry over to how this all looks for you today. We'll get into increasing clouds. We'll get into storm activity later on today, and probably for your evening commute going into the overnight and into the early morning commute as well. We'll also see Tuesday holds a low risk for severe weather, so that's a marginal risk for damaging wind and large hail. What we're looking at today, right now, current conditions, widespread 40s and some 50s for you. We'll also be picking up current dew points, much cooler out there right now. So nice to get out, maybe get it for a walk. We're also seeing calm conditions with the wind, so that means that fog and low cloud activity, as you can see, down to our south. And then working into the forecast, how this all plays out, we're going to see conditions to be like this in areas for Eau Claire, sunshine, few clouds coming in to partly cloudy skies. We'll do the same with sunshine for La Crosse. Looking pretty nice to start the day. Get out and enjoy it. I'll have more about this for you in just a bit.
We will see you then, Art. Thank you. President Biden is trying to rebound from Thursday night's poor debate performance. A new CBS News poll shows it affected how some voters view him. CBS News correspondent Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
President Biden departed South Jersey after a fundraiser this weekend on his way to Camp David. CBS News has learned he's had conversations there with family members who are urging him to stay in the race and keep fighting after his dismal debate performance. Some Democrats are also publicly voicing their support.
Joe Biden is not going to take himself out of this race, nor should he.
A new CBS News poll conducted after the debate shows 54% of Democratic registered voters say President Biden should be running for re-election, and 46% say he should not, a 10% shift compared to February. Of those who think he should not, the top reasons are age and decisions he might make in office. Some Republicans say the debate is proof the president is experiencing cognitive decline.
If you want to look at past performance to judge what's going to happen in the future, God help us all if Joe Biden gets reelected.
Another factor in the election is the pending Supreme Court decision expected later today on whether former President Donald Trump has immunity from criminal prosecution.
I think the president has immunity. It's not about whether he should pardon himself. It's about whether to be prosecuted in the first place for discharging his official duties.
As for fundraising after the debate, the Biden campaign says it has not impacted efforts, with $33 million raised since Thursday night.
The Democratic National Committee held a conference call over the weekend trying to paint a positive picture going forward, but not allowing any comments from people on the call. Happening today, the defense is expected to begin its case in Senator Bob Menendez's bribery trial. The New Jersey Democrat, his wife, and two businessmen are accused of acting as foreign agents for the Egyptian government and accepting bribes, including gold bars, a Mercedes-Benz, and nearly $500,000 in cash. The Justice Department reportedly has worked out a plea agreement with Boeing over those deadly 737 MAX crashes. Under the new deal, the company would plead guilty to criminal charges to two crashes that killed 346 and would in turn also accept a corporate monitor and fine. The company would then have a week to determine whether or not they'll accept the deal or go to trial next week. A lawyer representing the families of those killed in the crashes called the proposal a, quote, sweetheart deal, and the families were upset with it. Neither Boeing nor the Justice Department have commented. Before you hit the road to work this week, you might want to give yourself some extra time. Millions of Americans are expected to travel this week for the upcoming 4th of July holiday. AAA forecasts more than 70 million people will travel at least 50 miles between June 29th and July 7th. That's a record high. TSA, meanwhile, anticipating screening more than 32 million passengers from June 27th to July 8th, potentially setting a record there, too. Officials say they're prepared for the increased passenger volume.
This summer's travel season began Memorial Day weekend and runs through Labor Day. TSA is prepared for the highest traveler volumes that our agency has ever seen.
One complication for travelers is the weather. That includes heat advisories in several states today, more flooding in New Mexico and the Midwest, as well as the 2024 Atlantic season's first hurricane. 11 people were hurt at a Brewers-Cubs game when an escalator malfunctioned. That accident happened Saturday as fans were leaving American Family Field in Milwaukee. The Brewers organization says the malfunction resulted in the escalator speeding up as it went downward. Witnesses say people started screaming and toppling over one another. A number were trampled. 6 people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The highly anticipated Riverfest is just days away now. Saturday marked the unofficial beginning as volunteers started setting up at Riverside Park. Some good news, officials aren't expecting the moderate flooding levels to impact the upcoming event.
Other than Riverfest Idol, which is brand new this year, we've got a big car show. It's going to be roughly 50 cars. Past that, it's a lot of the normal things that people expect to see down here.
Riverfest will be held at La Crosse's Riverside Park and starts Wednesday. Community members in the town of Leon are celebrating the opening of a new playground. The Leon Community Center playground opened yesterday afternoon with a ribbon cutting and carnival. Kids came out to enjoy a day of games, treats, and of course, spending time on the new equipment. The playground was made possible by the Leon Gatorfest Committee, who installed the playground.
Our goal with the committee is to always improve and keep up like our community spirit with improving our grounds and having something for all of us to do.
Gatorfest will take place August 23rd and 24th. The annual festival features laundry basket softball, live music, and plenty of food, including Gator. The time now is 6:07, still ahead on your morning news. More companies are looking for part-time instead of full-time workers. Grill sales have fallen since last year, and 15,000 auto dealerships are still dealing with cybersecurity attacks. All those stories coming up in your consumer news. The Mall of America is starting a new security protocol with technology to identify banned mall goers. How the mall plans to use the facial recognition software coming up. And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. It was going to take more than a massive thunderstorm to deter supporters of the Florida Panthers from attending their team's Stanley Cup parade Sunday. A huge lightning storm led authorities in the so-called Sunshine State to issue flood warnings, but fans braved the rain to stay on the route of the parade. Stanley Cup is awarded to the National Hockey League playoff champion. The Florida Panthers were crowned for the first time on June 24th. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news is after the break.
This Monday, one day only, earn a 40-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. For every $60 you spend, that's a 40-cent fuel saver. For every $60, Monday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
When the time comes to update or remodel your current recreational vehicle, Jim's Truck and Trailer is here to help. Our experienced design team will work with you and develop a plan to fit your lifestyle and needs. We can take on any size renovation, from installing a sofa to a complete makeover, including walls, lighting, floors, cabinetry. Whatever the scope of your renovation plan is, we are here to create your vision. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy
to ooey gooey to oh my word.
Oh my word.
Cougars!
serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
Today, a little bit more special.
That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
As we continue the King Furniture Independence Day sale, please note that we will be closed on July 3rd and 4th. But on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, get ready to rumble. It's the King Furniture Independence Day huge finish sale with huge discounts on everything. We're taking 2 days off to celebrate and restock our showroom. Incredible savings on recliners, sofas, sectionals, lift chairs, even mattresses have been marked down. Plus, register to win a room full of furniture. It's King Furniture's Independence Weekend Big Finish Sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only.
This Monday, 1 day only, earn a 40-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. For every $60 you spend, that's a 40-cent fuel saver. For every $60, Monday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Well, good morning to you and happy Monday. We are looking at some pretty good looking weather to start the early morning hours and possibly into the late morning. Then it's going to change. We'll increase the clouds on you, getting into a little fog activity right now, though. Holding on to visibility back down to 0 for Boscoville, so you're in the dense fog, and locations other than that to the north. We're also looking at least partly cloudy, partly cloudy skies getting into a little bit of patchy fog. We're looking at Eau Claire. You can see right now holding on to partly cloudy skies, or at least by the 8 o'clock hour, with increasing sunshine for you by the 9 o'clock hour. But then once you get back into the latter portion of the morning, you're back into the cloud cover. All right, so how about La Crosse, though? Sunshine and a few high clouds drifting in. Then we start to see those partly cloudy skies come in as we get closer to the noon hour. Let's see how this all plays out for us. For mowing the lawn, though, for your forecast for the next 3 days, today's great, but you have to do that before the noon hour. Then those clouds are going to change up on you, and we may get some rainfall coming in about the 3 o'clock hour, so you may not finish your work. I wouldn't do it tomorrow because we have rain and storm activity moving through the picture, breezy and gusty conditions. Don't want to get you blown over. And then Wednesday, we're back at the green. Yay! Get out and mow that lawn. How would you like to mow my lawn? I love Caddyshack. We get into it. You're looking at conditions to increase as all that rainfall pops through the picture, and you're going to see that rainfall. You know the places where it's all going to happen. Wabasha, all the way over into areas right back down into portions of Winona, Fountain City. We'll also see flooding continue for a lot of those folks as you go into Alaska, down to La Crosse, and then back down to the south, where we'll have all of that rainfall coming back into the picture. So please be careful about how this all plays out for tomorrow with that rainfall starting today and tomorrow. That will be also a slow risk for severe weather into the forecast for you. All right, let's see how this all plays out. I'll have more about this coming up for you in just a bit.
In your consumer news this morning, new signs that businesses are looking to hire more part-time workers than full-time. A recent analysis of millions of postings on the job site Indeed revealed the demand for full-time workers has been flat from January 2022 to May of this year. New Labor Department data shows the level of part-time employment was up nearly 9%. The industries that were most likely to advertise part-time were beauty and wellness, personal care and home health, retail, and food preparation and service. This 4th of July, not as many will be firing up new grills as years past. The grill business saw huge sales during the pandemic, but inflated meat prices now making consumers think twice. People are still grilling, just not buying new ones. Experts estimate those grills bought during the pandemic will reach the end of their life cycle in 2025, and that's when sales should pick back up. U.S. auto dealers are racking up hundreds of millions of dollars in losses as the CDK cyber attack stretches into its second week. Last week's cyber attack on CDK Global software system has made it difficult for dealers to track customer interactions, orders, service records, and even payroll. As a precaution, most of their systems have been shut down. Some dealerships have gone back to the old-fashioned way of doing business with pen and paper. While not ideal, they say handwritten buyer's orders will keep them from missing out on sales. It used to be the stuff of science fiction, but the largest mall in the U.S. is using advanced facial recognition technology to bolster its security. Gordon Severson breaks down the Mall of America's latest security feature.
About 40 million people visit the Mall of America every year.
Safety and security is our absolute #1 priority.
Keeping certain people out of the mall has always been a challenge. Until now.
All of you got scanned when you came in.
Wednesday morning, the mall's new facial recognition system went live.
Yeah, so we saw the signs about the new facial recognition software that they're using.
Jesse Thompson says he tries to visit the mall at least once a year. He doesn't mind the new system as long as it's used appropriately.
I don't know that a lot of people are going to like it. It'll be cool to see it in action and see if it really makes a difference.
Security officials say the system does not record or save personal information about shoppers.
The only people that we care about are persons of interest.
Those persons of interest include people who are banned from the mall, people who have been identified by law enforcement as a potential threat, and anyone who is missing or in danger and needs help.
And those photographs are uploaded into the system, and then those photographs are scanned against people walking in.
And all it's doing is it's matching people against that database.
Ravi Bapna was a consultant on the project. He's a business analytics and information professor at the University of Minnesota.
When I looked at and evaluated the algorithm, we are looking at a false positive rate of 1 in a million.
Meaning 1 out of a million shoppers may be mistaken for one of the mall's persons of interest.
We're not going to rely on the technology alone. That would be foolish, right? If we get a prompt, there's up to a 3-layer human verification to make sure that we have the right person.
While officials say security team members have been extensively trained by an internationally recognized program. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:17. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
Man, oh man, Alexandria, I kind of want to get outside and enjoy it once that sun starts to come up, and it's going to be gorgeous. A little bit of patchy fog to start your early morning, though, and I'll show you that in just a bit. There you go. Possible down to some dense fog. We'll also see some patchy fog around Decorah, Prairie du Chien, as well as Viroqua. We're doing pretty nice right there, but you'll probably find a few areas of patchy fog out there, so please take it slow. Right now, Eau Claire is holding on to partly cloudy skies. More sunshine for you on the way. 60s to start your morning. Getting into late morning, though, upper 60s to around 70 degrees with a cloud cover on the way. We'll also see for La Crosse doing the same thing with sunshine and then in and out of the clouds with increasing clouds by the noon hour. Mowing the lawn, not too bad for the next couple of days. It's going to be pretty mild to warm in some cases. River levels you're picking up as well. We'll be picking up some rainfall on the way, and that's going to really start to change things up around here. You guys know where they're going to happen. It's going to occur in some locations, as you can see. I showed you from Wabasha back down into areas, again, getting to La Crosse in Alaska, as well as down to the south and then New Albany. You also see Lansing holding on to that, as well as Lynxville. Now, this rainfall is going to be coming in, and it's going to be heavy at times, folks, and you're going to be seeing the possibility of that flooding also moving into the picture. I'm going to take you to how this all plays out over the next few days. We'll be seeing the possibility of heavy rainfall coming in starting about the 3:15 in the hour or so in the afternoon. We'll also be picking up that rainfall to continue to process all the way into the overnight hours. We're also going to be seeing the possibility of, well, that severe weather popping into our picture. And here it is right here. Take a quick peek as you get into it. We're in a marginal risk for severe weather. That means damaging wind is going to be a part of your forecast, as well as possibility of some large hail, both a 5% chance. Tornadic activity is below 2%. It's almost zero. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. You know, always keep aware, though. We'll see that rainfall start to come in the overnight hours. So starting around 3:15 today, continuing to 6 a.m. in the morning, about 3/4 of an inch to a half an inch in some cases, but possibly we'll finish out with all that rainfall popping in to over at least a couple of inches to 2.5 inches, maybe more. Some cases may get 3 down to the south. Here's the look right back here as I showed you. We'll get into moderate flooding for everyone as you see this continue on. Then we get another batch coming in for Thursday for the 4th of July, and I'm sorry about that, but that's what's going to happen. You'll see that continuing on all the way through Thursday, going into Friday with some heavier rainfall coming in as well. Then that starts to back off as we go into the morning hours on Saturday. How about this, though? 76 degrees for you tomorrow, upper 70s, I should say today, upper 70s tomorrow with, again, that rain and shower activity and storm activity. Sunshine for Wednesday, back into it on Thursday, and then we'll see more of that rainfall for Friday with a break on Saturday. Back to you.
Still ahead on your morning news, is 8 glasses of water a day really necessary? A Mayo Clinic doctor weighs in on hydration myths and explains when you might need more than just plain water. We'll break down the facts about staying properly hydrated after your morning sports blitz.
Coming up in sports, a home run party in Milwaukee. The Brewers rally behind a big 4th inning that included their 5th Grand Slam in their last 8 games. See if it was enough to get the win. That and more coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Don't miss the giant July 4th weekend at Home Furniture. Now through Monday, get up to an extra 15% off sale prices. This Middleton Queen bedroom suite is $24.99. Made in Wisconsin with American Red Oak. The giant July 4th weekend ends Monday at Home Furniture.
Injured in a car accident? Ensure you're fairly compensated for your losses. Don't settle with the insurance company until you've talked with the personal injury law firm of Schwabel, Getz & Sieben. The insurance company's only concern is to settle your case quickly and for as little as possible. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben will fight for you in getting a fair settlement. Call the Minnesota Personal Injury Powerhouse, Schwabel, Getz & Sieben, or visit schwabel.com to receive a free case consultation. Representing accident victims for over 50 years.
Are you in need of a new water heater? Here at Maxwell White, we offer the best solutions for homeowners in La Crosse and the surrounding areas. Being the best means installing the best. Our American-made Bradford White water heaters can revolutionize your home and give you the home comfort you've always wanted. Contact Maxwell White today to find out how a professionally installed Bradford White water heater is right for your home. Our expert technicians will answer all of your questions and find the best possible solution for you. Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty steak patty sandwiches paired with a $2 medium iced coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The 4th of July patio sale is on now at Home Seasonal Concepts. Get up to an extra 15% off sale prices on porch and patio. Plus, get a free cornhole game set with any patio purchase of $9.99 or more during the 4th of July patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Chart your career with a welding position at Chart Industries. Do you have a year or more of welding experience? Starting wages up to $35 per hour. We have the job for you. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Sunday afternoon baseball in Milwaukee. Not only were the Brewers going for a series win over the Cubs, a win yesterday would be number 50 on the season. Brewers still with a big lead in the division, but the Cardinals are closing in, so every win is important. Let's go to AmFam Field. Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Brewers. A good game overall, but makes a mistake here. First batter of the game, and Nico Horner takes him deep. A solo shot to left field. Cubs in front, but the Brewer offense would heat up. A man on for Christian Yelich, and Yelly is going deep. This one to straightaway center, over the fence for a 2-run shot. Milwaukee takes the lead. Later in the same inning, bases loaded, and Bryce Turang, are you kidding me, goes over the fence for a grand slam. The Brewers 5th in their last 8 games, and Turang's 2nd of the week. Brewers would win 7-1, and Turang with a well-deserved Gatorade shower during his post-game interview. So that win marks number 50 on the season. They're the 6th team to reach that mark, and they've got the 3rd best record in the National League, trailing only the Dodgers and the Phillies. Next up for the Brewers, 4 games in Colorado, against Colorado starting tonight, and then 3 games in LA against the Dodgers starting Friday. Twins finishing up their West Coast road trip with one last game in Seattle. First inning, a man on for Trevor Larnach, and he lines one out to center field. That gets down. Buxton rounds 3rd. He comes in to score, and the Twins jump out in front. 5th inning now. Austin Martin at the plate, and he gives this pitch a drive high and deep to left. Gets down in front of the wall. 1 run scores. Martin is in with a stand-up double as the Twins add to the lead. Later in the inning, Jose Miranda, broken bat, gets through to left, and the Twins go up 3. But the Mariners would come storming back, and in the 7th inning, the former Twin, Jorge Polanco, is going to tie the game up with an RBI single to right. We're all even at 3. Now, the Twins entered the day on an 18-game home run streak, and in the top of the 8th, Larnach is going to make it 19. A 2-run shot to deep right field, and that was the difference maker in this one. 5-3, the final. Loggers were looking to stay hot in the Northwoods League up in Eau Claire, taking on the Express. First inning, man on for Eau Claire's Owen Washburn, and he crushes this ball. That's back to the wall. A run comes around to score as Eau Claire would lead by 2 after the first inning. Second inning now, Loggers threatening with the bases loaded, and Elijah Ikes pops one up behind first base. That's going to be an out, but a run does score on the sac fly. La Crosse ties this game up. And then in the 3rd, Briggs Reichert sends one deep for Eau Claire. Defense looking for it, but he's not going to find it because it's over the fence for a solo shot. That gives Eau Claire the lead as they wouldn't look back, 19-4 the final. However, the good news is because Waterloo lost last night, the Loggers are first half Great Plains East Division champs, and they'll be back in the Northwoods playoffs for the second straight year. Playoffs are a bit out, but the Loggers will be there. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. Bygoff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
The phone rang, and she said, "Mom, we're gonna lose the baby." Doctors knew that Amanda's baby had no chance of surviving.
And because of the extreme abortion ban in her state, we were also about to lose her. Doctors were not allowed to help her until she was almost dying.
We have always been conservative.
But we feel a national abortion ban would be devastating for all families.
Wondering what makes Wisconsin Dells the perfect summer getaway? Let's find out. Let's splash. Let's play. Let's try something completely new. Let's make sure we do this again next year. Hey, I'm working up an appetite. Let's eat. Need a guys' weekend? Let's do guy stuff. Need a girls' weekend? Let's go, girls. Need a family getaway? Let's have some together time. Wisconsin Dells, let's make this the best vacation ever. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
At River Valley Remodelers, we know that the bathroom is the most personal space in your house. That's why we don't come in with preconceived ideas or cookie-cutter installs. We'll sit down and talk with you about your needs and dreams. Whether it's a tub or shower or an entire bathroom design, we'll take the time to talk with you and get things just the way you want it. For a limited time, get a free shower door or a color upgrade with your shower purchase. So let's talk about the most personal room in your house. River Valley Remodelers. Improve your home, build our community.
It's Red, White, and Bargains during Hy-Vee's 4-day sale this Monday through Thursday. 6-pack bottles of Pepsi products, just $2.99 each when you buy 4. Whole seedless watermelon, just $3.98 each. Fresh ground chuck, just $3.98 a pound. Ritz crackers or Chips Ahoy cookies, just $1.99. Our special recipe brats or patties, 10 for just $10. And Lay's kettle cooked rolled gold or munchies, just $1.99 each when you buy 4. Monday through Thursday, only at Hy-Vee.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
Download the News 8000 app today. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, the Food and Drug Administration is recalling all Diamond Shrooms edible products. In a statement, Profit Premium Blends said their cones, chocolate bars, and gummies have toxic levels of a mushroom chemical that has made dozens of people sick in 20 states, including Iowa and Minnesota. So far, at least 23 hospitalizations have been reported, with people experiencing symptoms like seizures, nausea, and abnormal heart rates. The agency advises anyone with any of the edible products to immediately throw them out or return them for a refund. It is a critical part of overall health. Proper hydration helps the body function normally, but in the summer heat, it can be hard to know how to best replenish what's lost in sweat. Mandy Gaither explains when to pick water and when to consider an electrolyte drink to keep you hydrated.
It's long been said to drink 8 glasses of water a day, but when it comes to hydration, one size doesn't fit all.
I always explain to patients that if you have a cup of coffee and a cup of water,
those cancel each other out.
Dr. Matthew Anastasi with Mayo Clinic says an average person may need about 4 to 6 glasses of plain water a day for an average lifestyle. However, active people may need more, and as they sweat, may also need to turn to drinks that have electrolytes.
The more electrolytes you have in your body, the more water you can help to hold on to, and therefore it keeps you well hydrated.
Anastasi says the problem is that many electrolyte drinks also have things you don't want excessively in your body. That's why he says to check drink labels.
You may be taking in way too many calories, right? Way too much sugar, and you also may be well above your recommended dietary consumption of those substances that I mentioned. So I think, as with anything, it's a balancing act.
Anastasi says choosing whether to drink plain water or grab an electrolyte drink should depend on your level of activity. For regular, low-impact, less intense exercise, he says plain water is sufficient.
But if you're going on anything more than 30 minutes in duration, or anything that's going to be very intense, I do think you would benefit from hydrational support.
The doctor says it's also important not to only hydrate after an activity, but before and during as well. Competition was sizzling hot at Wingapalooza yesterday. It spiced up lacrosse with a mouth-watering chicken wing cook-off hosted by Black Leaders Acquiring Collective Knowledge, or BLACK. This nonprofit works to uplift and empower the greater La Crosse region's Black community. 9 local food vendors brought their A-game and best wing recipes, which attendees got the task of being the judges for.
I'm thinking that next year, after seeing how the turnout has gone and the competition, depending on who wins, I feel like we're going to have a lot more folks show up and be a part of this.
And Heirloom Seasonal Bistro was the winner out of Winona, which came with a trophy and a $2,000 grand prize. Vernon County residents celebrated the 3rd annual Viroqua Shakespeare Festival. The 3-day free event is hosted by students and staff of Thoreau College in Viroqua. A co-founder of the event says the goal of the festival is to keep Shakespeare's work alive.
Our slogan for this year's festival is celebrating the oral tradition. And so I think that's really a big encapsulation of why people should care about it. I mean, we've just seen our festival grow over the last couple of years, more and more people getting involved in making these stories and language accessible and alive.
It also featured live music, face painting, and performances of Shakespeare's The Chronicle History of Henry V. If you were near the Vernon County Fairgrounds, you may have noticed the Rise and Shine Balloon Rally. 12 hot air balloons were launched in memory of Ray Reynolds, who passed away from a stroke in 2019. Ray had a deep love for hot air balloon rides. This year marks the first time the Reynolds family is hosting the balloon rally. Recently, her sisters founded A Little Ray of Hope, a nonprofit dedicated to raising stroke awareness.
I just wanted to come out and see the fairgrounds, see what was offered, talk to the vendors, meet some new people.
And luckily, the weather stayed clear for the event. As we get ready to celebrate the nation's freedom, Star Spangled Babies program is gifting new and expectant military families with baby supplies. Michael George caught up with some grateful service families and a big donor to the program.
Volunteers are helping Air Force Staff Sergeant Aaron Cordova and Lorena Calderon load up their car with baby supplies. The couple is expecting their first child together.
Definitely a big help, even like the little bottles and little freebies that they're giving. I think that's helps a lot.
I think it shows a lot about how the community cares.
They were among 50 families at this Star-Spangled Baby Shower in Cookstown, New Jersey. It's through Operation Homefront.
We are a small but mighty team dedicated to serving military families like you guys.
More than a dozen showers across the country so far this year help relieve financial and logistical hurdles for hundreds of military families. Rebecca Schwarzenberger is an Army recruiter and now mom of 3.
Not a lot of military families can actually have baby showers because they're stationed in different locations and not near their family and friends.
Parents receive baskets of baby essentials, self-care goodie bags for mom, and among the bigger ticket items, cribs from Delta Children. President Joe Shammy says this year alone, his company will donate about $100,000 worth of products to military families, and they deserve it.
And if I can do the most littlest thing by providing them with a safe place for their children to sleep, it's a home run.
A small measure of thanks for the littlest ones involved in service.
The time now is 6:35. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute. Hi, Art.
All right, my friend Alexandra, I can't believe how my parents must have done that. It's just amazing what folks do nowadays. Today, dry and clear. We'll hold on to some clouds increasing on us, though. Then we get into tonight with storm activity on the way. And I'm going to talk about that coming up in just a bit as well. But we get into Tuesday, we have a risk for severe weather in the form of damaging wind and large hail. Fog to start out this early morning, possible and dense fog down. You can see currently 9 mile visibility going into Ladysmith, and you're looking at least partly cloudy skies for everywhere else with a little bit of patchy fog. We'll hold on to 50s right now widespread with some 40s over there in Sparta and Black River Falls, 41 to 44 degrees there. We get into the afternoon or I should say the morning for La Crosse to the afternoon. You'll see conditions in sunshine, then partly cloudy skies with increasing clouds deeper into the afternoon. We'll also see Eau Claire doing the same, at least 8 a.m. up to sunshine, and that continues for a while. Get out and mow that lawn if you can, or walk the dog. Looking pretty good for you, as you can see over the next several hours here. 64 degrees to 72 degrees. Get out and enjoy it if you can for a walk for yourself, or maybe even just sit out in the sunshine and read a book. Get out and enjoy it. All right, so I'll have more coming up for you about that in just a bit. All right.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Hadley's turning 8 years old today. She likes softball, soccer, and arts, spending time with her family.
And Joe is turning 80. He loves volunteering in his community.
And how about Doris? Doris is turning 88 today. Doris enjoys spending time with her family, going on walks and reading.
Happy birthday to all of them. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Oh, that's right. Just go onto our website and upload their photo to our news8000.com. And look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Still to come, we'll discuss the critical role bystanders play in responding to cardiac emergencies and the impact their actions can have. We'll also share some tips on how to do CPR.
Come into comfort during the International Furniture 4th of July sales event. Get 40% off all Norwalk Furniture special orders and up to 50% off select floor samples. The Tri-State's largest Norwalk Furniture showroom is at International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
To me, it's the worst thing a parent can face. My daughter was pregnant and she was about to lose her baby. Because of the extreme abortion ban in her state, we were about to lose her as well. Doctors were not even allowed to help Mandy until she was near death. I'm conservative, but that makes no sense. An extreme abortion ban almost killed my daughter. A national abortion ban would be devastating for all families.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
today a little bit more special.
That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
How do you hold the phone and text? Anyone using swipe to text is most likely millennial. And
so inefficient.
If you can quickly and accurately type with only one hand, using only the thumb, the person assumes this is Gen Z.
It's funny.
He notes that people type by tapping with their two thumbs until they reach their 50s.
Oh.
And then they start incorporating their index finger. That's the pointer finger.
That's my dad.
And you hold that phone, you're going to squint a little bit.
Shout out, Dad.
And you're going to peck at it.
Oh, yeah.
Come into comfort during the International Furniture 4th of July sales event. Get 40% off all Norwalk Furniture special orders and up to 50% off select floor samples. The Tri-State's largest Norwalk Furniture showroom is at International Furniture, I-90 Exit 2, La Crosse.
Well, welcome back to you. Good morning to you. If you're just joining us today, we have dry conditions. Clouds will increase on us later on in the afternoon into the evening hours. So expect a wet evening commute, possibly towards the latter portion of that, if not sooner. All right, so we get into tonight. You're looking at storms coming in, and that'll last through Tuesday. You're looking at Tuesday to have a low risk for severe weather in the form of damaging wind and hail. Right now, we start off with a little patchy fog to dense fog as you get into Boscobel. We're also holding on to Sparta with patchy fog. Everybody else seems to be pretty good with patchy fog, and of course a little low cloud activity to start. We'll also see some that rainfall starting to move in. See, these maps continue to change, so it must be different models because I'm showing rainfall now on this map. As I showed you, the other one didn't start until about 6:55, and in fact 9:55 you're looking at that storm activity to really pick up to the north. Eau Claire, you're in that. Ladysmith's going to be in that eventually, and there's the big batch coming in for the 11:55 mark, and then you can see as you get a little bit closer, we're dry for now. That rainfall had just swept out of the way, and now the backside of that comes in, and that's what hits us. We get a direct hit with some heavy rainfall popping into La Crosse as well as Winona. You'll also see down to the south, Preston's going to be picking up some heavy rainfall, and that sweeps right in with another batch right into areas going into Decorah as well as Prairie du Chien. They're picking up some good rain, as well as Boscobel to finish out going into the 10:35 a.m. mark. So that means a wet commute for you in the morning as well for folks. We'll also see Tuesday for 5:45 going into the evening. That rainfall begins to back off a bit going into your evening commute there. And then once we close out the midnight hour, rainfall is back up on the north side, and the heavier stuff is down to the south, as you can see, Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, and then that's how that all plays out. It's a low risk for severe weather in the form of a marginal risk, and we're talking about damaging winds. Not much in the way of tornadic activity, but you also see the damaging winds are going to be pretty high, and that means the flooding is going to be a problem as well. We go to the 6 o'clock a.m., so that's midnight tonight, or at least this late evening going into the overnight to 6 a.m. in the morning. That's a lot of rainfall already to start. You can see in some cases already up to about 1.5 inches. Then we fill it all in for Tuesday going into the midnight hour for Tuesday night going into at least for Wednesday, and there you have it, up to maybe 2 to 3 inches of rainfall possible in those locations, and that's going to cause minor flooding to major flooding, minor flooding for everybody once we get into that. You see Tuesday, and into Monday as well. So that's how that all will look. We get into Thursday. Rainfall for the 4th of July pops into the picture, and that's going to continue all the way into Friday with more rainfall. Heavier stuff comes into the picture, and that will continue all the way into Saturday morning. With that happening, then we take it into how this looks today. 76 degrees today, 78 tomorrow with storm activity popping into the picture. 84 degrees as we go right into Wednesday with a good-looking day with sunshine. Still holding on to the 80s for Thursday with storm activity, and then more on Friday, picking up some rainfall possibilities again to finish out the weekend. Back to you.
We are shining a spotlight on the life-saving techniques that everyone should know. Joining us this morning for Mindful Monday is Marlis O'Brien, certified CPR instructor at Mayo Clinic. Good morning.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So just start by telling us, we hear so much about CPR and AEDs, but what really is the significance of knowing these skills?
So just over 1,000 people die every day in the United States from sudden cardiac arrest when the heart goes into a bad rhythm. And sadly, only about 10% of them survive if it's out of the hospital when it happens. And if more people knew how to perform hands-only CPR and use an AED, we're hoping we can improve that number.
Okay, and so you brought an AED and a dummy with you today. So yeah, show us, how do we do CPR? What should we know?
So first, if you see somebody who might need your help, just make sure the scene is safe so you're not injured yourself. And then see if you can wake them up. Hey, are you okay? If they don't respond, you want to send someone for help right away to call 911 and look for the closest AED. Then I'm going to look for regular breathing. If someone's just passed out, they should still be breathing at regular intervals. So if you see what looks like abnormal gasps and they're not happening at regular intervals, then you would want to start compressions. Basically, you put the heel of one hand right in the center of the chest between the nipple line, put the heel of the other hand on top of the first, You would keep your elbows nice and straight with your shoulders directly above the heel of your hand and start pushing as fast and hard as you can on the chest.
Okay.
We recommend about 2 inches in depth for anybody over the age of 1, and a rate of 100 to 120 pushes per minute, which is just shy of 2 per second. So you're going pretty fast.
Okay, so that is pretty fast. And how long do you do that for?
Until help comes. Or if you begin to get tired, we want someone else to take over. The American Heart recommends that no one person does compressions for longer than 2 minutes if it's absolutely, unless it's absolutely necessary and there isn't someone to take over.
Okay. And then is there a difference, in what situations should we do that versus when should we use an AED?
As soon as the AED arrives, then you want to apply it to the patient. So as soon as you would come back with the AED, I would stop compressions and begin using the AED.
Okay.
The first thing you do with any AED is always turn it on, because then it'll tell you what to do.
Oh.
Apply pads to patient's bare chest. Plug in pads connector next to flashing light.
And there are always pads inside the AED, and there are pictures that show you right where to put them.
Okay, very helpful.
Apply pads. Plug in connector.
And the AED will continue to give you prompts.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient. Shock advised. Charging. Stay clear of patient. Deliver shock now. Press the orange button
So you
now.
make sure no one's touching the person. And then there's a red-orange flashing button. We're going to press that. I'm shocking. Everyone's clear.
The shock delivered. Paused. Begin CPR.
And then you would immediately start compressions again, and then hopefully help will be coming soon.
Okay, that is so helpful. You see these on walls and stuff, and you hear so much about them, but to know it's that easy to follow is
very
so
simple.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, so CPR, getting CPR certified, obviously very important. What about renewing that certification? Is that necessary too?
So the American Heart recommends that you update your CPR certification every 2 years. The more frequently you can practice it, the more likely it's going to come naturally to you in an emergency. So some facilities even practice it every quarter, but usually at least every 2 years we recommend, renewing your skills.
Okay, and when we're using the hands, I know some people talk about songs to stay in that rhythm.
Yeah.
Any songs or any kind of tips we can remember with that?
Yeah, so the most famous song is Staying Alive.
Okay.
So that has a nice beat to do compressions to, and if you like to surf the internet, you can actually put in what songs could I do CPR to, and Baby Shark is another one.
Oh, all right. Well, that's popular in my house. Well, that is so helpful. Anything else that you want people to know about CPR or AEDs?
Don't be afraid to help. With every minute that passes that you don't do compressions, the likelihood of surviving drops by 10%. So time is really important. We tell everybody the only bad CPR is no CPR. Your actions can only help. So just push hard and fast in the center of the chest. And if that's all you do, you're still giving them a great chance at surviving.
Okay, well, Marlis, thank you so much for sharing
thanks
this
for
with
having
us. No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
On these trails, I find the middle ground and get things moving. I've done that as a state lawmaker, and it's what I'll do in Congress. I'll work with both parties to get things done for workers and families.
Transform your home's exterior and boost curb appeal with River Valley Remodelers Next Generation Siding. Ascend Composite Cladding combines the look of real wood with superior performance, offering durability, energy efficiency, and foam backing. This first-of-its-kind solution ensures beauty, performance, and easy installation. For every siding job booked now until July 31st, we'll be donating $500 to the ORA Bike Playground Project right here in West Salem. River Valley Remodelers. Improve your home, build our community.
Jolivet Family Farms Homegrown Goodness. Stop by today for some homegrown raspberries, kohlrabi, onions, baby red potatoes, carrots, popcorn, and so much more. Pick your own raspberries daily from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also available in the market. Check for availability. Find distinctive crafts and decor. Take home some cookies, breads, bars, or pies from our homemade bakery. Only at Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
I know how to get things moving in the state capitol, but in Congress, I'll also have the experience to stop bad ideas like the national abortion ban and stop attacks on our democracy. I'm Katrina Shankland, and I approve this message because our freedoms are on the line.
Welcome back. It's 6:51. Time for your morning news now. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders held a rally at UWL Saturday as part of his tour of the Badger State. Sanders has made several stops throughout the battleground state last week, addressing challenges the country is facing while rallying his support for President Biden. He discussed key voter concerns like the climate, women's rights, and the economy, specifically problems with the wage gap.
Bottom line in American society today, people on top of the billionaire class have never, ever, ever had it so good. 60% of working people, on the other hand, are struggling to make ends meet, working paycheck to paycheck.
He added he enjoys hearing public input on the issues. Happening today, the Supreme Court is expected to decide whether former President Trump is immune from criminal prosecution. On Friday, Chief Justice John Roberts announced today as the final day the court will give opinions from the current term. There are as many as 4 opinions still to be released, including Trump's immunity case and determining if state laws can regulate how social media platforms determine which posts violate the Constitution. President Joe Biden remains defiant amid calls to drop out of the presidential race following his performance at last week's debate. A CBS News poll finds nearly 3/4 of registered voters now say Biden should not be running. Among Democrats, nearly half say he shouldn't remain the nominee. The Biden campaign says it is full steam ahead and is focused on reminding voters about the choice between him and former President Trump. Millions of Americans are expected to travel over the 4th of July holiday. AAA forecasts more than 70 million people will travel at least 50 miles between June 29th and July 7th. That's a record high. TSA anticipates screening more than 32 million passengers and potentially setting another record there. Officials say they're prepared for the increased passenger volume.
This summer's travel season began Memorial Day weekend and runs through Labor Day. TSA is prepared for the highest traveler volumes that our agency has ever seen.
One complication for travelers is the weather. That includes heat advisories in several states today, more flooding in New Mexico and the Midwest, as well as the 2024 Atlantic season's first hurricane. The highly anticipated Riverfest is now just days away. Saturday marked the unofficial start of the fest as volunteers started setting up at Riverside Park. Some good news, officials aren't expecting the moderate flooding levels to impact the upcoming event.
Other than Riverfest Idol, which is brand new this year, we've got a big car show. It's going to be roughly 50 cars. Past that, it's a lot of the normal things that people expect to see down here.
Riverfest will be held at La Crosse's Riverside Park and starts Wednesday. Community members in the town of Leon are celebrating the opening of a new playground. The Leon Community Center Playground opened yesterday with a ribbon cutting and carnival. Kids came out to enjoy a day of games, treats, and spending lots of time on the new equipment. The playground was made possible by the Leon Gatorfest Committee, which installed the playground.
Our goal with the committee is to always improve and keep up like our community spirit with improving our grounds and having something for all of us to do.
Gatorfest will be held August 23rd and 24th this year. The annual festival features laundry basket, softball, live music, and plenty of food, including gator.
All right, we get into it. This is what we're looking at today. Highs in the 70s, widespread. Get out and enjoy it because the clouds are going to increase once that occurs. You'll see that rainfall as we go overnight and into tomorrow. Well, we're picking up some pretty good rainfall, at least 2.5 inches of rain. Take a look at this, though. 76 today, 78 tomorrow with rain and storm activity. Damaging winds and hail not out of the question. Brief break on Wednesday, but Thursday we get back into 4th of July rainfall. Stay safe. How about you?
All right, Art, thank you. Over the weekend, the city of Gloucester, Massachusetts held its annual Greasy Pole Contest. And it's not what you think. Contestants got their chance at running across a 40-foot telephone pole that was slathered in biodegradable grease, banana peels, orange rinds, eggs, and fish guts. The goal is to make it across the pole and grab the flag that's attached to it. Thankfully, tough contestants don't need to take a bath when they get home because if they fall, they will land in the water below. I'm not sure why you would do that. Do you? Can you think of any ideas?
No.
Especially when fish guts are involved.
Yeah, so it's like, no, just no.
Some adventurous people out there, I guess. Well, thank you for starting your week with us on News 8 Now this morning, and count us out for that, right? Do not put us down for the telephone pole greasing contest.
I'm out.
We'll see you back here at noon. Enjoy your Monday morning.